Hey Ashna, can you hear me okay? Are you able to hear me? Okay. I hope y'all are doing well tonight. Alright, cool. How's everybody doing? Hey Gabriella. If you have a question, feel free to post it in the chat. And I'm just gonna go in the order that I receive them in. I'm doing really well. Thank you for asking. Been learning a lot about letting go and surrendering. And man, that seems to be the most empowering thing that I've experienced in a while. Okay. So, Master Manifester says, what's coming towards me this month? Okay. Hey, Pallavi. Good to see you. Alright. This is for Master Manifester. What's coming towards me this month? They just want a general. I got you. Let's see what comes up. It's really interesting because I'm getting a lot of things about the home, like home life. Oh, thank you, Pallavi. So I'm not sure if this is like symbolic or if it's like actual physical home stuff. Like the actual physical structure of a house or an apartment or just a living space in general. Mm-hmm. Okay, see this Ten of Pentacles? This was the first thing that I saw before I pulled these cards, and so I was like, is this supposed to be symbolic or is this literal? And I tend to be kind of a literal person, so maybe that's where that came from, but we'll talk about that. Um, so in general, this month, it seems like um, maybe up until this point, you've been kind of uncovering or being more introduced with some like subconscious impressions that you've had up to this point, and kind of uncovering those and moving out of a space of confusion moving out of a space of illusion, noticing that something is not really you, and it doing that is actually um, kind of paving the way for a uh, a new opportunity for something to come in and take its place, whether it's something that you've been waiting for or something that's just kind of been an idea up to this point, maybe a dream that you've had. But there's something here about kind of removing something that has been maybe a subconscious block, or that's maybe um, kept you in darkness or confusion, or a feeling of stuckness, and something and that is more physically tangible, something that is more um, kind of permanent in a foundational sense. That's actually where I'm getting this. When I was having these visions about this arch and these houses, I'm like, is this an actual house or is this symbolic of a foundation? And now I actually think that it's symbolic of a foundation. Um, there's something on the horizon here that maybe you've been waiting for, but that there's been some belief that's kind of has gotten in the way of that being able to come in. Um, a lot of It's funny actually that your handle is Master Manifester, because in relation to manifesting, or just how the universe works in general, there has to be free space in order for something new to come in. So that's why letting go is so. And I was talking about letting go right before I answered your question, actually. It was funny. Letting go is such a big part of manifesting because there has to be empty space in order for something new, physical, to take to come in and fill up that space. Everything comes from empty space. That's why we're natural manifestors, is because the universe really um, has the plan and the intention of creating something from nothing, because everything comes from nothing. There has to be empty space in order for there to be something to be able to come take a physical place. It's kind of like, in a very physical sense, like when you're looking for parking. And I was thinking about explaining this earlier today, and I was like, anyways, when you're looking for a parking space, you can't just go into any space. You have to wait for there to be a space to be open. That works. That's a just very physical example, but that's also vibrationally how everything works too. Um, so I kind of want to look at this little book here to see if I'm kind of missing anything, or if there's something that you're diving into the deep and murky depths of your innermost mind. There may be fear, anxiety, confusion. You need to go deeper to the core of your emotions to release this fear, and then you will be free. And I see that happening. Um, and it's kind of creating a more permanent foundation that allows for um, uh, something that you've been trying to manifest to come in and take physical form, is what I'm saying. Let me see here. Beep, bop, boppity, bop. Yep. Let's see. Somebody's baby. Get out of your comfort zone and explore new opportunities for growth and development. Cover new grounds and expand your horizons. I absolutely see that happening. So let's pull an oracle here. Let's see what somebody has said. Zelda fucked the world. Yes, dude. That's what's up. It's probably my favorite franchise. I think Majora's Mask being my favorite. The ocarina just always has my heart because of pure nostalgia. So, let's see here. It really looks like, and I'm going to correlate this with the visions that I was having too. They were all surrounded around the concept of a house, which I'm interpreting here as more symbolic, like the archway that you saw in the car. That was the first thing that I saw, and that's like a doorway. It's like a, a transition. Um, an arc for me is more of it's a new beginning. It's a new beginning because that is a transition. That's what a transition is for sure. And it's moving into something more prosperous, something more solid. It's requiring, you know, kind of being a deep diver into the fear um, of self-doubt, of uncomfortableness. You got to do that, let go of that shit for new things, something new to come in and take its place. So, any messages for me? Okay. Any messages for Master here? And I really feel it, dude. Even me doing this right now, I experience fear that it's not safe for me to do this work, right? But I know that I'm not thought, so I gotta try anyway. Okay, so first card here. On whom am I placing blame right now? Person who blames others has not begun their lesson. Person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. Person who blames no one has finished their lesson. Today's soul action, take responsibility. On whom are you placing blame right now? Today, free yourself by releasing all victimhood, blame, and resistance. They don't belong where you are going. Only love and courage live there. Make a choice to do it, even if you don't feel ready. Listen to your heart and you will be led. So I guess just my own spiel about this. Like we've been talking about letting go, which leaves room for something new to come in and take its place. And limiting beliefs and victim mentality are just, it's a mentality. It's a way of thinking. And if you identify with thought, then you become that thing, because wherever you put your attention is where your energy is going to go. But it's important to know that you are not thought, that thoughts are things, that concepts are ideas, ideas are things, beliefs even. Beliefs are thoughts that you think over and over until they get normalized to you. But thoughts are not you. You are the awareness, you are the observer of thought. And how you know the difference between who you actually are and thought is understanding that you are awareness, that you are the experiencer, that you are the observer of thought. So, when a thought of limiting belief comes around and you're able to look at it and just watch it and be able to experience the accompanying feelings that come with it and just watch it, just observe it as if you were just like people watching, or you're just watching people. You're not necessarily judging them, you're just watching. You do the same with thought and you do the same with feeling, and you make that separation. And what it does is it will, you train yourself, your body and your mind. You stop identifying with those things and it becomes learned that you aren't those things because you aren't those things to begin with. Um, so they're talking about blaming and they're talking about victim mentality. They go hand in hand because with victim mentality, there's the illusion that you are victim. that you are not responsible for your life, that you don't create all of your experiences. You create everything that you are experiencing. You create your entire reality. What that means is the thoughts that you think and the beliefs that you have, the things that get stored in your subconscious, show up in your physical reality. And when you are blaming someone, you're putting your power outside of yourself, which is the equivalent to um, having a victim mentality or a victim belief. That outer form decides how you feel, and that outer form decides what your life is going to look like. That is false. That is an illusion. So they're talking about take responsibility, um, and they're talking about a person who blames themselves has begun their lesson. That's because what you think is what appears in your physical reality. So, for example, if you have the belief that, say um, I had a an ex partner, right? And I blame them for me feeling like I can't do something, like I can't manifest a relationship that is actually healthy. Say I was in an abusive relationship and I'm continuously blaming that person for me not being able to have a healthy relationship. That would be false. I'm now putting my power in what somebody else is doing, when really the power is inside of me. What that means is, and what taking responsibility for your life means, is that, okay, if I am keep having experiences where I'm having unhealthy relationships, it actually has nothing to do with the other person. It has to do with I have a subconscious belief that I either don't deserve a healthy relationship, that I don't value myself, and so I'm attracting people that show me that I don't value myself because everything is attraction based. And so I'm attracting my experiences toward me. I'm creating my experiences. So then I notice this thought that I'm having is that, oh, I don't value myself. Look at the way I'm talking to myself. Look at the way that I'm talking about relationships. If I'm talking hella shit about relationships, but then I keep seeing shitty relationships coming to me, I'm creating this. So taking responsibility for your life is, again, being aware of the thoughts that you are having. And everything in your external is a mirror of the thoughts that you are having. It's a mirror of your internal. Um, so you observe that, and then you're like, well, fuck. What experiences do I want to be having? Let me actually start to think thoughts that are in alignment with my desires. And that's what taking responsibility for your life is. And that's why blaming other people is a waste of your time. It's not helping you, and that person's not going to be able to help you. And the power was never with them anyways. It was always with you. We are natural creators by nature. We are empowered beings by nature. Um, yeah. And the other card you got is what boundaries need to be created or strengthened within my relationships. To create more healthy boundaries, we must first get in tune with our own needs, desires, and feelings and believe we are worthy of them. That's literally what I just said. In your own relationship, it's essential to know where they end and where you begin. And you'll know what your boundaries are based on the relationship that you have with yourself. It all comes from within you. Today's soul action. When we separate our energy from others, we gain clarity about what we really want. Um, then we stop doing things that no longer align with ourselves. If you are an empath, you can still be compassionate towards others without taking on their stuff. That's literally what we've been talking about. And this literally goes with this other card in regards to blaming yourself and identifying with victim mentality. Um, it is safe to trust that you are not here to fix anyone. That's the truth. People are here to fix themselves. Today's mantra: I have everything I need within me now, and so do they. I am worthy of my needs, and I set boundaries based on what's best for me. Wow, I am feeling like so much energy and many physical sensations right now. Okay. So, Master Manifester, I hope that that helped you. And I think that will be some things that you are experiencing. And not even just this month, because these are really timeless. Um, Time is really a concept and a tool that is useful in the 3D, but it's not a variable in the other dimensions. I appreciate your work. I'm a fellow empath, energy worker, and reader. That's what's up. Um, I mean, I would love to get a reading from you. Can we make that happen? I'm gonna have to follow you. Or was it subscribe to your... Oh man, I just have like so many sensations right now. I need to get some water. Okie dokie. Oh, what's good, dude? Good to see you. Dave, that's my brother. Thanks, dude. I hope you're having a good night. Uh... Alright. Oh, that's what's up. That's what's good. Oh man, have fun in Dreamland, dude. Maybe you'll hit up an astral projection or something. Meet you out in space, my barrage. Oh, sick, dude. I'm gonna look that up after I'm done with my reading here. Ayurveda's been coming up a lot because I've been drawn to learning about ayahuasca. I would like to partake in ayahuasca. Anyways, I want to look that up. Yoga Nidra. Dreamland can be the shit. It's very helpful. It tells you a lot about yourself. And it's also in the fourth dimension. We are actually in the fourth dimension right now. But our perception is stuck in the 3D. Anyways, I'm going to... Man, yeah. Um, I don't know too much about it, but I see it so much, and I hear about it so much in videos that I watch about healing or about energy or energy work or anything like that. So, man, I'm definitely gonna look more into it. I'm stoked to hear that. That's really cool. Anyways, dude, I hope you have fun and dream sleep time, dude. I love sleep. Oh, that's what's up. Sister Science of Yoga. Man, that's awesome. Bungie out. Alright, man. Okay, house was also literal. I got you. LOL. Okay, house was also literal. I want to tell you that what I saw was Bungie out, brush. I saw the archway, and then we saw it in the card too, right? Um, archway. The the visions that I had of the house, um, or the apartment or whatever, it was like a. I felt like I was in New York or something, where it was like the houses are kind of uh, close together, and maybe they're like taller. Like I'm in Southern California, we don't really have like tall houses or tall ceilings or things like this. But that's kind of it felt like I was in New York or something. Anyways, I saw the archway. We saw the archway in the card. Everything that I saw, and then I saw brick wall, and then I saw brick staircase, like how you would have outside leading up to front door. Um, it was all built. It was all solid. And then we saw that again in the Ten of Pentacles, where it's talking about a solid foundation. It's talking about material abundance. It's talking about earthly abundance. Um, so you're talking about you're getting evicted. There is something new coming from this, and I think it'll be a much more solid foundation. I'm sorry that I have like the chills. I have like the shivers. I'm not cold. I just there's a lot of energy going through me. Um, so I guess what I'm saying is we talked about uh, limiting beliefs and manifesting and letting go and things like this. So um, you do whatever you want. I'm also manifesting a new space for myself, um, and um, letting go of any belief that says that I can't have exactly what I want. There are specific things that I want, and actually, the space came into my life easy and effortlessly that had all the specifications that I wanted. And I also did scripting, because scripting is really good at um, your it brings you to the right now, but it's also using your imagination as a tool, because your imagination is a very potent tool that helps you create the life that you want. So maybe this thing with the house, um, you know, visualize what you want, script it. Um, if you want to learn more about scripting, um, there's this person. I'll leave their information here. They have a lot of videos on scripting. This person, Roxy Talks. I've mentioned them several times in past videos. Scripting was what I did to manifest this new space that came about into my life. I scripted it once and it appeared the next day. So obviously, how this thing comes to you has a lot to do with how much resistance you have towards it, and the resistance is the beliefs that you have, basically, or what you got up in your subconscious, and that just being aware of stuff and rewiring things, and whether you're using affirmations or you're stopping thought with manifesting. There's so many modalities and tools to reprogram your mind and allow yourself to become who you really are, which is a manifester, a creator by nature, because the universe is is expansion by nature. When you expand from seeing contrast and you have a new desire, the universe then expands in relation to that, because now it's finding a way to give something to a being in a way that it's never done it before. Right. Oh, there's another person, Dan. Dan, and this is for everybody too. Dan Radio Style is really good at talking about letting go, because letting go is such an important part of the process. And I've been talking about this since before we started your question, actually, about you have to make room for something new to come in. Creating something from nothing is why we're here. It's why everything is. So, anyways, um, Master Manifester, I appreciate your question. I appreciate you connecting with me. Okay, that is what I thought. I did used to think that letting go was the hardest part, but that itself is a belief. And when you let that go, when you change that, and you understand what it means for you specifically to let go, to surrender, really, um, it's the easiest thing. So, I mean, this was just a month ago that I started undergoing this understanding of, fuck, Jesus Christ, can please, divine, can you show me what it means for me to let go? Because you can hear it all day. You can watch YouTube videos all day, and I did, about letting go and about surrendering. And what the fuck does this mean? And I'm taking copious ass notes. But you don't really know something until you experience it. And so I asked the divine, can you just fucking please show me what it means for me to let go? And within a week or two, I either woke up with the knowing, or I was just in present at one time and it just hit me. Um, and so now that I know what it means for me, it really for me is about surrendering control. It's really about, for me, about not identifying with thought, understanding that I am not thought, because you're going to have thoughts that are in resistance to something new that you are trying to incorporate in your life, because you've conditioned your ego, you've conditioned yourself to a lot of times survival mode. So a lot of the thoughts that you have are fear-based, um, and they're not who you are. They're not the truth of who you are. They feel very real and they can be very convincing, but you have the power. You have the power, and you are not thought. And you can reprogram your mind to get into coherence with your heart. Doing what makes your heart sing and having thoughts that are in alignment with that is the most important thing. So yeah, Dan Radio Style, Roxy Talks. Man, I'm even gonna put Divine Earth School. Divine Earth School. That's also another really good one. Oh, my leg. Okay. I'm always dropping food on myself, I swear to you. Alright, everybody. Thank you for being patient. I'm going to move on to the next question. Ashna, I want to know how Ronak feels about me. Okay. Yeah, dude, thank you. Oh, a good book. I always recommend this book, Untethered Soul by Matt Singer. They do the dopest explanation of detaching from thought and how you are not thought and feeling, and how thoughts and feelings are things. Also Esther Abraham Hicks, incredible. They also are really good at explaining how to let go. Um, uh, they specialize in teaching people that you are the creator of your life, how to align your thoughts, how to get in alignment with your truest self. Um, Basically letting your higher self, uh, which is you, it's you're kind of like a fractal version of your higher self. It's all you. Letting that take the driver's seat and removing your ego from the driver's seat. The ego is more like fuel. It's not useless and it's not a thing to be killed. It's part of you, but it's a tool to help keep you grounded in the now and to take action on inspiration. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Ashton, I want to know how Run Up feels about me. Nice somebody's baby. I'll be alone. I wonder if the song that I have in my head right now has anything to do with your question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. So it took me a little bit to be able to relax because it feels like there is just it. I can barely keep my eyes closed. It's like my eyes want to pop out of my head because there's just a lot of energy moving through me, which that's okay. But finally, I did get an image, and it was of um, again. I feel like I'm being transported to New York. I've never been there, um, but I imagine it's kind of cold, and I imagine that there are base basketball courts or parks of some kind that have large fencing, like the fencing that you would see around uh, a park that maybe has like a batting baseball area or something. There's usually like a chain link, uh, tall fence. Um, I think you know what I'm talking about. This one had some barbed wire on the top. And so the fence in general is talking about I'm keeping things in and I'm keeping people out. The barbed wire on top is like I'm definitely keeping people out. It's either I'm keeping nothing new is coming in and nothing's coming out. You would have to go through a door. You would have to be allowed to go through this thing in order to get in or out. And then when I pulled the cards, I got this Three of Swords, right? And I mean, look at this thing. There's swords piercing a heart. Like, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh. Um, there's some pain here. There's some unfinished business here. And this person is trying to figure out, they've got a good head on their shoulders, and they're trying to be as careful as they can to be able to decide who's going to come in and out of here. This person, yeah. So see this. Uh, this is a King of Swords. Um, their sword is like very close to their heart, and I've never noticed that before this reading. When someone has a sword over their heart, or if they've got something blocking their heart, this to me And everything looks very balanced in this card too. This means that this person, even though that they have some hard feelings and they are trying to figure out how to best move forward with this and who are they going to let in and out, they're being very careful about what they are thinking and how they're thinking. Um, they have a good balance of their own energy as far as in regards to their own insides. Um, so it's as opposed to, this person's energy could instead be um, very irrational. It could be um, reckless, but I'm not really getting that. I'm getting that this person has a good handle on themselves. And so they are intentionally trying to make the best decision as to should I let this person in? Um, what's the best thing for me? Um, but at this point, they're kind of indecisive. So they're in a space of trying to make the most sound decision in regards to their heart and their head being level. Let me pull some Love Angels cards here. I was standing in the back room with the lights down low. And I was just sitting and then somebody's baby. So I'll be on my way. Alright, any messages for Ashna in regards to this person? Ronak. Interesting. Okay, I understand. Okay, so there were two cards that popped out. And the first one says, express your love, go ahead and make the romantic gesture. But it came out with love yourself first. It came out with the card that says love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. So I feel like why these both came out at the same time is because the express your love is, might not be in regards to this other person, especially with the reading that we just had. But hey, you know the situation better than I do, maybe. I think it's in regards to loving yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Another card you got was worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. So, I don't know. What do you feel about what I'm talking about? What do you see happening? What do you perceive in your situation? Also, you can always send somebody love without physically telling them. Your thoughts and your feelings have such power over everything, really. Um, so, for me, my previous partner, I love them very much, right? And I kind of get the sense that they have a hard time having me be in their life. Like, they're trying to figure it out. And I'm trying to figure it out too. I'm not gonna lie. But I feel like I'm less resistant to it. And so, you know, I could sit here all day and have the thought that, oh, this person's never going to talk to me again, or oh God, this person hasn't talked to me in a couple of days. They must hate me, or how do I do something physical to get this person to talk to me? Okay, that's not going to do shit. It's going to drive you insane. And also, now I'm having thoughts of lack, what is just it's just going to attract more lack to me. But what I can do is I can have thoughts of me having wonderful, loving conversations with this person. I can imagine myself laughing with this person and doing something really healing with them. I can imagine them just, even without me, just being super happy. Because when people are super happy and secure, that's when they're most likely to reach out and do something that didn't feel safe before. So those are things that you can do. I got you. You can even manifest somebody reaching out to you by thinking about what that scenario would be like and feel it as if it's happening right now. What would it feel like? And then let it go. You know, the more you keep bringing it up and thinking about it, the more you're communicating to the universe that you don't have it. And the law of attraction, the laws of the universe are attractive and inclusive based. That means that when you are saying that you want something, you're going to get that thing. But when you're thinking about things that you don't want over and over and over, or you're thinking about the fact that something's not here and where is it? Where is it? You're thinking about lack. So the universe is going to look at that and be like, okay, here's more lack. Here's more of the thing that you don't want. So there are a lot of people on YouTube that have a lot of useful videos about manifesting a significant other or a specific person. And Roxy Talks, the people that I listed uh, already in the chat. Roxy Talks, Aaron Doherty. How do you spell this person's name? Oh, Aaron Doherty. Radio Dan Radio Style. Hella people. There's so many people that talk about the mechanics um, of manifesting a specific person. If that is something that you want, and maybe you'll find out that that's not what you want, and out of actually loving yourself, it becomes a lot more clear about what it is that you actually do want. Because maybe it's not really this person that you want. Maybe it's something that you felt like this person was going to give you, that then you would be able to feel happy, then you would be able to feel complete. But shit does not work like that. And if it does, it's very limited. It doesn't last. So we have everything within ourselves to be able to feel whatever the fuck it is that we want to feel. Um, and if it's happiness that you want, you can generate that within yourself. If it's security that you want, you can generate that within yourself. And you can use your imagination, visuals, scripting, ask the universe, ask the divine to show you what that looks like for you. And it will happen. It will come. So I hear you. The length of, because you're always manifesting. People are always manifesting. We're manifesting before we're even born. Um, because we are creators by nature. You are where you're at because of a bunch of contrast that you saw, and then you had preferences based off of that contrast that you saw. So you had a thought, well, I prefer this, and then um, you keep having that thought, and then it shows up in your life, and you're experiencing what you're experiencing based off of past manifestations. Everything that is here right now is based off of a previous manifestation that I had, previous idea that I had. So you're always doing it. And the amount of the length of the time it takes for something new to come around, I think is in correlation to how much space you have made for the new thing to come in. So how much, what thoughts do I have that are in resistance to the thing that I want? Oh, cool. Journaling and scripting. Yeah, that's awesome. They're really good tools to keep you in the now, which when you are present, you're not having resistant thought, which means the universe can do its work. Because our work is not how things come about. Our job is to have the desire, imagine it, ask for it, and allow it to come in, which means surrendering. So, anyways, thank you for your question, and I appreciate you connecting with me. And I'm going to go on to the next question. Oh my god, how is it already 10? How is it already 10 o'clock? I literally just started like 5 minutes ago. Okay. I'm gonna go till 10:30. Well, it's 10 p.m. where I'm at. I'm gonna go till 10:30, and then oh my leg. And then I'm going to stop and do my night routine and stuff. Yeah, Ashna, that's what's up. All right. Gabriella, I'm just now seeing. Love your hoodie. Thank you. Serial says, how do you let go of something that won't let go of you? Nothing outside of you has the control or is the deciding factor of you letting go. It's all you. Nothing external to you has the ability to control your life or the ability to decide whether or not you let go. It's all us. And I'm seeing more of your question here. How do you let go of someone that you know it's over, but they didn't do anything wrong? So I'm gathering all of this. Am I repeating? Oh, I was going to read that. Am I repeating old patterns with Ed? What if they keep calling and texting you? So, if I'm understanding this correctly, I'm going to explain to you my current situation, and then you tell me if it's something like that. Me and my previous partner, we split up in October, right? But nobody did anything wrong. It just was not right for us to be together because we're kind of, everybody's growing in their own way and they need the freedom to be able to do that, whatever that looks like. So it was like nobody did anything wrong, but to have us be together would have been detrimental to our growth. Is it something like that? Because also we still talk to each other. Like we're trying to figure out what that looks like. So is that kind of something that you're experiencing? Okay, okay. So you're trying to let go of what exactly? You're trying to let go of a best friend. Oh. Well, I mean, I'm pulling some cards here, but while I'm doing that, I mean, boundaries come to mind. Um, we've been talking about manifestation, and we've been talking about how the universe is attraction based, and how our thoughts and our beliefs attract our experiences towards us. Um, so a lot of times, letting go is um, letting go of certain beliefs. Um, And what that can mean specifically is letting go of the reasoning for why you keep identifying with that belief or with that thought. And then, as a result of removing that belief and that idea, and having the courage to not stand by that reasoning anymore, it makes room for something new to come in. Um, and you see your physical relationships, your physical reality changing as a response to the new thoughts that you're having, the new dominant thoughts that you're having. Um, so, a way that you can change something physical without using physical force is by changing the way that you think. Um, so, for example, you could envision yourself, you could be having visions of, and you'd like it, I guess, to be in coherence with something that makes your heart sing, right? Something that you desire. So, for example, like, say I was in your situation and I had this hobby of making music, and now I'm just going to envision myself um, really learning a lot about music and really getting into it, and really spending a lot of time alone with myself, and just really enjoying myself, and nobody's bothering me. And or maybe I'm envisioning myself um, having new relationships and meeting new people. Maybe I'm envisioning my phone not being on me. Maybe I'm envisioning my phone not being around me, and really feeling what it feels like if that were happening right now. It's I think that it is important to bring in this um, physical, uh, not physical, this present moment aspect of it. Feel it as if it is happening right now, and then moving forward from that, after you're done with that and you've let that go, you're like, that's nice, and let it go off into the universe. Um, you continue to live your life as if you had that thing. It's not even something that you think about. You just continue to do you, basically. Remove that belief and that idea. Having the courage to not stand by that reasoning makes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Uh, mm-hmm. Oh, right on, right on. You can always replay this too. Replay it. The videos just get posted on my channel, and the live chat gets reposted too. So, anyways, I've been shuffling these for 1,000 years, so I'm gonna pull some here. All right, messages for cereal. I like this deck because it really slaps you around, because it actually, okay, this is really funny, because these cards actually get to a lot of core beliefs that we have that sometimes we don't think about, or a lot of times we don't think about, but we keep experiencing the same shit and then wondering why it keeps coming around. And so when I was talking and I was looking around for a deck to pull, my attention went to this self-forgiveness oracle deck, and at first I was like, why would I want to use that? That doesn't make sense. Da 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 da. But I try to know better than to uh, doubt myself. So now it makes sense as to why this is here. All right, so we're talking about beliefs, yeah. So being your own best friend and doing the best thing for. Surely, that's what's up, dude. All right. I hope you're ready to get slapped around here. Um, I forgive myself. So there's a what this card looks like. It says there's a top portion that says I forgive myself for da 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 da, and then it says I choose to believe, which this is the new belief that takes the place. So the first one says I forgive myself for internalizing others' perceptions of me as reflective of what must be true about me. So, I forgive myself for internalizing others' perceptions of me as reflective of what must be true about me. What others think about you is not you. Everybody's living in their own reality. They're seeing the world through their own filters. We're all under the same societal conditioning. Okay, so I really resonate with this myself. Okay, I choose to believe, okay, that only I can really know what I hold in my heart. That is the fucking truth. And it is safe to self validate when external validation is not readily available. I choose to believe that only I can really know what I hold in my heart, and it is safe to self validate when external validation is not readily available. Okay? So, we're getting slapped around. Whoa, whoa. I'm going the opposite way of my hand, but you understand what I'm saying. Here we go. I forgive myself for thinking that no one cares to hear what I have to say. I choose to believe that I have within me a powerful, innate wisdom, and I am capable of creating loving impact through both my words and actions. I forgive myself for thinking that no one cares to hear what I have to say. I choose to believe that I have within me a powerful innate wisdom, and I am capable of creating loving impact through both my words and actions. And when we are constantly subjected to societal conditioning that is very and can be very fear based and very teaching you that you are your thoughts, that you need to identify with the thoughts that you experience, you can completely forget that you have within you a powerful innate wisdom. You are energy. You are an empowered creator by nature. Everything is energy, and we're all made out of that. Um, And when we identify with thoughts, wherever our attention goes is where our energy flows as well. So when we identify with thoughts, which are things, they're form, they're physical, they're external, they're things. When we identify with things that are external to us, it draws our attention and our energy away from our innards and ourselves, who we really are. Who you really are is awareness. Who you really are is a conscious creator. Who you really are is energy. You are an eternal being. Um, Energy cannot be destroyed, it can only be transformed into something else. And your body is a projection of your higher self. It's kind of like how there's the sun, right? And it illuminates everything, right? Like it creates its own light. And you put a prism um, up to the light, and it fragments the light into a bunch of different wavelengths. And we see that as different colors. It's like our higher self is the prism, and the fractals are our bodies, is another way of saying our bodies, the embodiment of our soul. Um, what I'm getting at basically is that you are so much more than what society tells you that you are, that what people understand themselves to be, um, and not identifying with thought, and coming back to the knowing that you are the observer of thought, that you are awareness, that you are the creator of your reality. Um, you begin to really have a knowing of your inner power. So, yeah. And I have one more card here. I forgive myself for misinterpreting life's attempts to redirect me to something better as rejection. I forgive myself for misinterpreting life's attempts to redirect me to something better as rejection. I forgive myself for misinterpreting life's attempts to direct me to something better as rejection. I choose to believe that by not creating attachments to a specific outcome, I may be moved to the experience of something even more rewarding than I can currently imagine. And we've been talking about letting go. And this is really what this is about: non attachment to outcome. It requires having a knowing that you are the creator. It requires having a knowing that all this physical form that you're looking at is energy, and that you create your reality based on the way that you think and the beliefs that you hold and how you've programmed your subconscious. I forgive myself for misinterpreting life's attempts to redirect me to something better as rejection. I choose to believe that by not creating attachments to a specific outcome, I may be moved to the experience of something even more rewarding than I can currently imagine. So when you let go of expectation, what that means is that you are no longer identifying with thoughts that are trying to foresee what something is going to be like or how it's going to play out. That's fear. That is survival mode. That is conditioned fear based thinking. But when you stop doing that and you surrender to what is, and you utilize your imagination, and maybe you're doing scripting techniques, and you're acting as if you're acting as if you already have the life that you want. um, you're happy with and grateful for things that you're noticing around you right now that you have. You step out of your own way. You stop identifying with the thought that is trying to get your attention. That's like, no, I need to do something physical in order for such and such to come about into my life. No, I need to keep thinking about this or else it's not going to happen. That is resistance. And that is not something that, mm, I don't want to put it like that, because then that's resistance towards resistance. It can be there and you can observe it, but that doesn't mean that it's you. Those thoughts don't mean that you are that thought. You can allow it to be there and observe it, and even pull some information from it if you want, and be like, oh shit, there's that thought again. Huh. Maybe I'll meditate and stop thought if that's what you feel like doing. Maybe I'll do something. Exactly. Breathe, think, walk, talk. Do something. When meditation is not just about stopping thought, you're also meditating when you're doing something that you love, that you're really concentrated on, that you're really focused on. Um, Even if that's just taking a walk and you're aware of how your feet are hitting the ground. Um, I get focused on my breathing, and you know how you can like physically feel what it feels like when you're breathing in and out through your nose? It like feels really good, like right here. I focus on that a lot. And that means that you are in the present moment. You're focusing on something that's happening right now. And it takes you out of identifying with thought. Um, and it stops you from being in a resistive state. And when that happens, it allows your higher self to come in and get back in the driver's seat. And that's what this is talking about. I choose to believe that by not creating attachments to a specific outcome, I may be moved to the experience of something even more rewarding than I can currently imagine. It allows inspiration to come in, and then you take action off of that inspiration. And that inspiration might not even come right in that moment, but it will come. So, used to have deep desires for showing horses. And then I have it's. I've been around our energy just completely shut down. I need to. So. Um. So yeah, that's what I got right now. So I hope that resonated with you. Um, if you're interested in um, letting go and rewiring your subconscious, Nikki Sutton, and maybe just look up subconscious rewiring, something like that. To Nikki Sutton. They're a channeler, uh, healer, and they are so good at explaining the subconscious mind, and and they talk a lot about trauma and limiting beliefs and things like this. So Thank you for your question. And I've got about 10 minutes here. All right, Shirley. You're welcome, Serial. Much love to you. How the Leo is feeling about me. Okay. Hmm. All right. This person is very, I don't want to say picky, decisive. They're very methodical and thoughtful, especially about where they're placing their energy at this time. They're like, am I prepared? Am I well enough? Do I have the courage? Um, are my intentions correct? Um, I want to make the best decision. I want to be logical about this without coming off as emotionless. Um, can I let go of the past? Is the past going to hold me back? Mm-hmm. Right. There's this thing here about is the past going to come back and haunt me, or you know have the choices that I've made in the past gonna come back and haunt me? Um, have the hurts that I have experienced before, are they gonna come back for me? Um, Let go of what no longer serves you emotionally and open up to the new opportunities available to you. So it's like this person is like trying to decide and figure out for themselves if this new opportunity, if they are prepared for it. Is this something that's going to be like something in the past, or am I just holding on to some emotional thing from the past that I can actually cut ties with? Hey, Heaven. Yeah, my name is Rachel Stokes. So let's do some love angels, yeah? So Heaven is going to be the last question that I take because I gotta go to bed. I gotta do like my night routine and stuff. But I appreciate y'all for being here and hanging out. Feel free to hang out. I got an hour and 22. I see the number 22 all the time. I'm gonna pull a couple of love angels, and I appreciate you being here. If I didn't get your question, again, Heaven is gonna be my last question of the night. If I didn't get your question, please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of when I come back on. Yeah. And thank you to all my new subscribers. He acts like he likes me and then pulls away. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. It, I don't think it has anything to do with you. Actually, I actually think that nothing that we do has anything to do with anybody else. It really has to do with us. Thank you. So I'm just gonna pull a couple love angels. I feel like this person might come around because this King of Swords, they can be very intense, but they their heart and their head is in the right place. And that's always a good place to make good judgments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. So the first card that came out is Soulmate. This is your soulmate. So I don't know if you believe in soulmates, but there's apparently a strong connection here with this person that might uh, be not constrained to the physical 3D concept of time. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So we've been talking about this person and their thing about, um, you know, uh, having attachments to um, emotions that may have stemmed from trauma that really don't serve them anymore. Forgiving is a really big part of that. Um, and you also got true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Uh, Thank you. Uh, I'm sure you're gonna. Blah, 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 blah. He was married for 20 years. He was a gentle soul. I'm hoping he'll go around. You know how they say love doesn't. Man, we should really, really allow someone to go. Uh huh. You're correct. We are both very sensitive, and he's not my typical type. Um, there's definitely a connection here. And what this person is experiencing doesn't have anything to do with you. I don't believe. That's not what I'm feeling. That's not what I'm seeing. So, if you are interested in having a closer relationship with this person, it really starts with you. It really starts with the way that you are thinking and the way that you are talking. Because talking creates vibration as well. Thoughts are vibrations. Deliberate thought, using deliberate thought to experience things that you would actually like to experience instead of continuously thinking about thoughts that you don't want to experience. And that's actually really awesome. I'm reading, I love how sweet and gentle he is, but I need a lot of work I need to do on myself. That is a really perfect spot to actually attract in um, a loving relationship with another person, especially with somebody that seems to have an energetic connection with you that transcends the concept of 3D time. Because when you do work on yourself, you make room for new vibrations to come in. There are certain vibrations that we hold based on beliefs that we have. And so when we do work on ourselves and we release those things that don't serve us anymore, like what this other person is doing, we're talking about the King of Swords and having a level head and being that's actually a really good place of judgment and cutting ties to shit that don't serve you. This is actually a really good spot for, um, it may take a little time. It's going to take however long as it takes, but that doesn't mean that this person and you cannot be in having whatever type of loving dynamic that you are envisioning. Um, and maybe your ideas about that dynamic might change over time. Um, but what I'm saying is that what you're talking about is a really good spot for inviting something loving. I've done some really successful things, but I am stuck and not moving forward right now. He is really successful and it's a bit intimidating. You mean successful, like physical, successful things? Like, because everybody understands words differently, and the word successful might mean something different to you than it means to this other person, or even it means to me. So, you bringing this up, I met him in August at the first time he touched me a lot and asked a lot of questions and he backs off, so I just. Okay, so you bringing this up right now, this whole thing of I have done some really successful things, but I'm stuck and not moving forward right now. Um, and I don't know if this is like a comparison thing. Um, but that what you're talking about right now, not in itself, but observe. I'm like how I'm observing it right now, and being like, oh, there's something interesting with that belief. There's something interesting about the way that you're talking about what you're talking about right now. So I actually want to pull. Um, I'm going to pull a self forgiveness, and then I'm going to pull a another oracle, because how you're talking about what you're talking about right now is telling me that there's some kind of limiting belief that is not who you really are. Who you really are, yes, you're. I guess I don't even need to pull these cards then, because you know what I'm talking about. Someone told me you can have anyone because he's going to school to be a specialist in the field. Understanding that other people's thoughts have nothing to do with us and that everybody is living in their own reality is very powerful to know. What other people think has nothing to do with how you create your life and how far you can take your imagination and how allowing you can be to have the universe bring your dream life to you in the most amazing way. Nobody else has any power over your power. So, messages for Shirley. Messages for Shirley. It's really important for them to know. It's really important for them to know. Damn, Shirley. I'm reading what you're saying. I get really hurt by words and humans. I work with horses and I want to create a healing center for prisoners and children in foster care. I am just sending like so many good thoughts towards your desire, and it all of that just like culminating and the universe just like pulling all the strings to bring that about to you, and you just feeling totally in alignment and having thoughts that are in alignment with your heart's desires, because man, that would just do so much good. I forgive myself for rushing to get to an imagined endpoint and neglecting to enjoy what is already mine in the process. So, I forgive myself for rushing to get to an imagined endpoint and neglecting to enjoy what is already mine in the process. I choose to believe that every season of my life serves a purpose, and I give myself permission to accept and celebrate the timeline life has lovingly created for me. And I feel like this has to do a lot with what we're talking about, and really what you brought up, because you observed the comment that you made about success and now you're pinpointing it. Man, that's hella dope, Shirley. You're already that's why I'm like, you're talking about success from somebody else's idea of success. But look at all that you're doing right now. You just being. You just being. Might have no idea how much good just you being and sitting does for other people to tap into that. And also what is happening on other dimensions, not just this 3D plane. There are other beings that are benefiting from you just being. Just being. Just knowing that you're enough, just being. I forgive myself for not asking what I want out of fear that I may be rejected should I ask for more. I forgive myself for not asking for what I want out of fear that I may be rejected should I ask for more. I choose to believe that when I wholeheartedly accept the consequences of voicing my truth, the changes that ensue ultimately support the fulfillment of my truest desires. So there's this thing about speaking. Okay, so what I've been understanding, really, just like in my own personal life, is the things that I find the most challenging, the things that I struggle with the most. You're talking about being hurt by words easily. The things that I'm experiencing that are the most challenging, the most struggling, are a reflection of something that's on inside of me that wants to be expanded, that is just craving expansion, that is craving empowerment in that area. So you're talking about being hurt by words. And this is talking about you speaking your truth. Because once you hit that vibration of you feeling comfortable with yourself and knowing that you are enough and knowing that your intention in you speaking your truth is more important than what anybody's perception of you is, you stop inviting the frequency of fear, of doubt, of thoughts of how somebody is perceiving you, of of taking on other people's ideas that have nothing to do with you. Because everybody's in their own reality. Everybody's going to think their own thoughts. They're all living in their own reality. So I feel like a lot of this and you empowering yourself is about speaking what you know to be true for you. I forgive myself for internal. Okay. We're all getting slapped around here tonight. I forgive myself for internalizing others' perceptions of me as reflective of what must be true about me. We literally just spent however long just talking about that. I choose to believe that only I can really know what I hold in my heart, and it is safe to self validate when external validation is not readily available. Okay, thank you, Shirley. I gotta move on because I can feel that I'm getting sleepy and I want to give heaven my energy. But I appreciate your question and I appreciate you um, just being present. All right, heaven. My energy feels crazy right now. But it's all good. You are very welcome. All right, heaven is the last question of the night. Mm. And I somebody's baby, so I'll be on my way. Oh. Okay, my question is I'm torn between leaving my partner and staying with him. I just want to know if you see Chris changing his ways. We both have been abusive. Man, I really feel you on that. I really, really feel you on that. Even now, you know, I'm no longer in an abusive relationship, and um, even now, I sometimes have the idea that, oh, if this other person just stops what they're doing and they just do this new thing, then I'll feel better. But it's really the opposite. Um, if I want to feel some type of way, then it starts with me. Um, Anything that I want to experience or feel has nothing to do with somebody else doing something differently so then I can now feel something. It's a very conditioned way of living that, I can't do this or feel this unless you do something to change. And then I'll be able to feel some type of way. It's a very conditioned, limited way of living. And that's not even how we're wired, you know? It's more of like, I want to have a specific experience and I envision it and I be the version of me that has that experience or has had that experience right now. What would that version of me, how would they be thinking? What kind of beliefs would that person have? Speaking about me, right? Like, um, that's just kind of, my abuse was a reaction to his. I hear you. You are always in the place of power. I've been in abusive relationships myself, and I started to identify with this idea that I was a victim. A victim mentality is an idea, it's a thought, it's a way of thinking, it's a patterned way of thinking, which um, pattern thinking or a thought that we think over and over is what a belief is. Victimhood, a lot of times, is a belief. It's a thought that we identify with, and then we think that we are that thing. But the problem with that is that now you're placing your power outside of yourself, and so you remove your focus from your innards, which is, you remove your focus from who you really are, because now you think you're this thing, and now you're looking for outer things to change in order for you to feel some type of control, in order for you to feel some type of power over your situation. So how I went about moving forward from a place of victimhood, which often came with a lot of thoughts of, I can't trust myself or anybody else. Everybody is out to get me. I can't do things that I love to do. I'll never be able to do stuff. All these different thoughts that are, telling of a victim mentality, is I had to stop identifying with thoughts that didn't feel good. I had to stop identifying with thoughts that, um, resonated with anything along the likes of being a victim, because your thoughts are not who you are. Let me see. It triggers me in so many ways that it makes me lose control. And I feel it's only going to get better if he stops pushing me so hard where I snap. I don't see myself as a victim. I'm a part of the problem. You don't hurt people that you love. When you feel like you need to control something and you need somebody else to change in order for you to experience what you want to experience, that tells me that there is a belief within you. There is something consciously, there is an awareness within you that is aware of victim mentality. Because in reality, people changing in order for you to feel and experience something doesn't even last. It's not permanent, because you don't have control over other people. So what you can do is, since you are the creator of your reality, and your beliefs and your thoughts and those corresponding feelings determine what you experience in your 3D, you can kind of do some reverse engineering and be like, okay, I'm envisioning what I would look like not being abused. I'm envisioning what I would look like being happy and doing stuff that I love. What would that type of person be thinking? What kind of beliefs would they have? What kind of things would they be doing? How would they be talking? How would they be talking to themselves? How would they be talking to other people? Um, and so, I'm reading this here. He triggers me in so many ways that makes me lose control. And I feel it's only going to get better if he stops pushing me. Okay, I agree that it is very difficult to grow, and to become the observer of thought and those corresponding emotions when you're in triggering situations, when you are in high intense survival mode, fear-based situations. So the physical separation, I mean, for me, I can't think of anything else that would be a really good first step. So what I want to do first is, I want to pull some oracles. Right, you're stuck in fight or flight, and that's your nervous system. Your body is having a reaction rather than a response. Your body is having a reaction, and it is conjuring fear-based thought, which is not who you are. So then you're making decisions based off of thoughts that are not reflective of who you are. So then you're not making decisions that it's more likely that you're making decisions that are not resonating with who you really are or that are most beneficial to you. I just don't want to not be able to control myself, because I really hear you, man. I really feel you. I'm going to pull some oracles and we'll see if we can get some more advice here. I think the physical separation is a really good first step, because it's really difficult to become observant, to just be the observer and get some inner stillness and stop thought when your nervous system is constantly being triggered, and then you're getting a bunch of flooded hormones that is telling your body that you're in fight or flight. And now you're aligning with fear-based thought, but the problem with that is that you're not your thoughts. Who you really are is not your thoughts. And it's difficult to get into contact with your heart. Your heart is an incredible tool. It's an incredible tool that can tell you, it can guide you to where a place that is more beneficial to you. I was in foster care growing up due to my mom being abused. Abuse shaped my whole life. Now I'm abusing and being abused, and I just really don't know how I let that happen to myself. Well, I mean, I just want to tell you that it's nothing to be ashamed of or have guilt over. If anything, things like shame and guilt are completely useless um, mentalities or emotions, if you want to call them that, because they don't do anybody any good. But they might be able to have you be more observant of the thoughts that you're having. Um, but when you start to identify with things like shame and guilt, then you start to think that you are bad, that you did something bad, and that you are bad. But you're not. And more importantly, you're not thought. So, and a lot of times when we experience trauma and we see trauma happening around us, especially to the people that we really trust or care about, um, we start to attach stories. We start to create a story for ourselves and identify with that story, and we keep telling it to ourselves. And so we keep seeing it in our 3D. So you've got to stop that story. You got to tell yourself a new story. Because the truth is that you are creating yourself in every moment. Every moment that you've ever lived has been a right now moment. There is no such thing as the past. There is no such thing as the future. Those are more kind of tools that we use in the 3D plane to kind of keep us grounded, right? To kind of keep us aware of the fact that we're here right now. But you're creating your reality and yourself in every moment. So let yourself do that by releasing the story. So I've been shuffling these for 1,000 years, so I'm finally just gonna oh bitch. Oh bitch. Okay. Messages for heaven. Whoa, 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 whoa. Messages for heaven. It's really important to know. Shit. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. That's what's up, heaven. Hey, I mean, it takes the two of us to make a connection, yeah? Like, you had to be really vulnerable with me. It's a two-way thing, so thank you. All right. So, get ready to get. I'm actually not going to say that joke because we're talking about abuse. But what this is talking about is what we've been talking about. What am I looking for outside of myself that is already within me? Okay. Are you looking for more guidance, confidence, peace, wisdom, love, or something else? When we search outside ourselves, we can become overwhelmed, frustrated, and never feel quite good enough. It's time to go inward and find everything you seek. All the answers you need lie within you. Today's soul action: breathe in your favorite essential oil, inhale deeply into your belly, drop your shoulders, and spend some time hanging out with your soul today. Ask for what you need and be ready for the answers. So, we've been talking about physical separation, right? And how it's difficult to get into the space of being alone when you're constantly triggered and in that fight or flight mode, when you're constantly feeling fear. And I really resonate with that. Okay. Next card. Am I in my head or in my heart? And this is a lot of what we've been talking about too, because it's difficult to get into your heart where the answers are, where something feels like when something makes your heart sing, which I'm sure you've had that feeling before, either doing something that you really like, or maybe you heard a song that feels really good. That's where the answers are. And when you think thoughts that are in alignment with that, then you're guided to where somewhere that's more beneficial to you. Right? So am I in my head or in my heart, right? And we were talking about self-talk. We were talking about reverse engineering, right? And I'm envisioning, you know, what is it the experience that I want that just aligns with my heart's desires, yeah? What would if I'm imagining myself in a really safe space. I'm imagining myself um, having a really good time, and I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm laughing with people and I'm enjoying myself. What would that person how would that person think? What kind of beliefs would they have? How would they be talking to themselves? Okay? What is the quality of your self-talk? Our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and the limitations will take over. So what that means is when it says if we condition it daily, the fears and the limitations will take over, that's talking about identifying with thought. When you have identified with a specific thought so much that you think that that thought is you. Thoughts are not you. You are not thought. Thoughts are things. You are a being. You are energy. Where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. But you've got to be able to be in a space to be able to allow your body to calm down and not be in fight or flight. Today's soul action. Oh, excuse me. So our brain is like a muscle. If we condition it daily, the fears and limitations take over. Mastering our thoughts is about being the creator of our own life. Where your head meets your heart is where miracles happen. Today's soul action. Today, master your mind. Watch an inspiring video, and I'm going to give you one after we're done with these cards, yeah? Watch an inspiring video, do some tapping. I'll tell you what that is. Read an empowering book, or write out all the reasons why you believe in yourself and your dreams. So, I was talking about like when you feel your heart sing, you um, have either you're listening to a song that you really like, or you're dancing, or you're laughing, or you're doing something that you like. And this is talking about you watch an inspiring video. For me, like when I'm noticing thoughts that are very fear-based and are self-doubt and are telling me you can't do this, you can't do that, all this bullshit that has nothing to do with me, but really comes from some beliefs that I've taken on, some stories that I've told myself over and over. Yeah, some rewiring, some reprogramming that needs to take place. I watch an inspiring video, or I read a book that's super empowering, and it gets me back into alignment with myself. And I'll give you some videos, yeah. Last card you got here. What can I do to make a difference? What keeps you up at night? What makes you cringe when you think about it, such that every ounce of you screams no more? Where can you create purpose out of your pain? I'm going to explain this in a second. Today's soul action. Make a difference in someone's life today, big or small, because all of it makes a difference. So one of the most powerful things that there's this psychic medium, which everybody has psychic faculties, but some people choose to make it their profession and use their abilities for not just themselves, not just their own guidance, kind of like what I'm doing right now. I'm not using my abilities for my own guidance, I use it for other people too. Um, they One of the most powerful things that they told me was that um, your pain your pain points are actually um, opportunities for massive change. Your pain points are opportunities. Um, I know, like, as humans, we have like emotional and mental faculties, and we take things personally. And when we do that, when we identify with thought and take things personally, and we think that we are the experiences that we're having, it draws us away from our inner knowing, our observer view. We are actually observers. We are actually experiencers, not the experience. We are actually consciousness. We are actually awareness. So, pain points are opportunities for change. And I imagine you have been feeling a lot of pain, a lot of frustration. And I resonate with that too, like understanding what it's like to be in an abusive relationship and wanting the other person to change and not understanding why they won't. And also becoming someone who hurts other people as a result of being hurt, because that's why people really hurt other people, is because they're hurt. Points of pain are opportunities for massive change. They are opportunities for you to expand in ways that you have never expanded before. They are opportunities for the most self empowerment. But it's only when we start identifying with thoughts of victim mentality that we don't see it like that. So, this is saying, where can you create purpose out of your pain? I mean, something that comes to mind for me is like, you know, we've been talking about envisioning what experiences do I want to be having. You can look at your pain for that. Your pain gives you a lot of information about what it actually is that you do want. Because a lot of times, like in the 3D plane, while we're here on Earth learning a bunch of shit, there's a lot of contrast, and that's there for a purpose. It's not because something is either bad or good. That's something that, from a human perspective, we make those judgments. Everything in nature is actually neutral. We give it judgment. But really, everything is an opportunity for expansion. And that's really what we want to be doing. And, I see you at the point of being like, and even this is talking about what keeps you up at night. What you're screaming like you don't want this anymore. You're experiencing something and observing something that is in complete resistance to who you really are. You're talking about being the abused, being the abuser, um, being out of control. These are things that are opposite to who you really are. So there's this like pull there of what your higher self, what your innards know to be true, and what identifying with thought is causing you to believe. And therefore it's showing in your 3D. Because that's how the universe works. It gives us more of what we've been thinking, how we've been talking, how we've been behaving, what we've been believing. I really just want to change so bad. I miss how things were, and I miss being so light. I'm just dark and heavy, and I don't recognize myself when I look at myself. I want to tell you that the universe and spirit, and even you, like who you really are, your higher self, it's all you. Us in our human bodies are a projection of our soul, of our higher self, Our higher self is a projection of source. So it's all us. So the the energy and the love and your you is always there, but it's difficult to gain access to that when you are identifying with thought, and especially when you are identifying with fear-based thoughts and beliefs, when you are identifying with stories from the past that you have completely created and identified with. Your subconscious is going to take that on. You basically teach your subconscious that, okay, this is how we think about stuff now. And how the universe works in the 3D plane is that you create your reality based off of how you've conditioned your subconscious. So you continue to see things in your 3D that are a reflection of what's going on inside of you. Everything is a mirror of what's going on inside of you. So these experiences that you're having are actually kind of a blessing because they're showing you what wants to be expanded inside of you. I know, I was just looking at that too, Shirley. It's good because your soul is wanting to expand in this new way. And the empowerment and the change in your 3D is going to be more rewarding than you could even imagine. So even when you're in this dark, heavy space, you're doing the changing work. It's just a part of the cycle of something is here that doesn't resonate with who I am. I'm having a lot of experiences that are showing me this over and over. Oh, now I'm observing it because I'm just surrendered, dude. Like, I don't want to be in this anymore. Oh, okay. What do I want? Okay, let me think thoughts that are more in alignment with that. Let me actually embody what that person would be like. My mom told me the other day that I'm just like the guy who abused her because he raised me and I was just da. What anybody else thinks about you has nothing to do with you. Everybody is in their own reality and they're all thinking their own thoughts. What your mom said and what anybody has to say about you in your life has nothing to do with you. So you can completely drop the responsibility or the attachment of what you don't have to take their shit on. And that's the fucking truth. I'm gonna give you, some videos, yeah. Let's see. Just look up anything around. Please. Negative thoughts. Rewriting. Subconscious. Check out that person. Yeah. Just know that even the dark and heavy space is a part of the growth, and you're not doing something wrong, and there's nothing wrong with where you are at with yourself. This is actually a very important piece of the bigger picture. It's a very pivotal moment. The points of pain are very pivotal. They're opportunities. So I want to do a couple more of these oracles, and then and then I'm gonna head out of here because it's almost an hour later than what I said. I really feel you, and I really resonate with that. I resonate with that with myself, and it's in a lot of our societal conditioning to do that too, to just blindly trust people and have their opinions of us outweigh our knowing of us. That's a very societally conditioned thing. And you're not alone. You are not alone about anything that you are feeling or anything that you have talked about here. You're not alone. You are going to get yourself out of this. And that's what's so amazing. You are the one. You are the creator of your reality, and you are going to get yourself out of this. And then you're going to have a deeper knowing of who you really are. And then you're going to feel like you can fucking do anything. Which is what your higher self already knows. Your higher self is you. It's just what's the word I've been looking for all night? Starts with a C. I keep using the word fragment. Your higher self is a part of you. You're an extension of it. Your body is a projection of light. Your body is an embodiment of your soul. God, that's gonna kill me. No, I won't say that. I'm still trying to think of the word. It'll come to me. It's not that important. Alright, so check it out here. So, I forgive myself. This is wild. I forgive myself for internalizing others' perceptions of me as reflective of what must be true about me. Literally just sums up what we've been talking about. I choose to believe that only I can really know what I hold in my heart, and it is safe to self-validate when external validation is not readily available. Okay? I forgive myself for not trusting in my ability to provide for myself or my loved ones. I choose to believe that life constantly supports and guides me, sharing with me the potential to effortlessly receive what I need in every moment. I forgive myself. This is especially important. All of this has been really important, but I resonate with this as well because as I am still observing some victim mentality myself, there's this kind of perfectionism that tries to come in and take its place. But that again is just another thought. And I'm not trying to identify with thought because that's not where my guidance is coming from. That's not where the best guidance for me is coming from, is if I'm present in the moment and I have inner stillness. I have stillness in my head. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself and relentlessly expecting perfection. I choose to believe that I am doing my best in every moment and that every version of me is valuable as I continue to learn and expand into the potential I know is available to me. And this is what I've been talking about. You being in this dark space is not something that you want to reject. This isn't, even though it feels like I don't want to be here and I hate this part of me, you don't want to hate any part of you. To love yourself is to integrate all parts of you and to know that you are always the powerful being. You are an empowered being by nature. Just because you've been identifying with thought and thinking things over and over and seeing those play out in your 3D doesn't mean that you're not the creator by nature. You're just creating experiences that you don't want to have. I forgive myself for being so hard on myself and relentlessly expecting perfection. I choose to believe that I am doing my best in every moment. That is the truth. Every version of me is valuable as I continue to learn and expand into the potential I know is available to me. Because when you get yourself out of this, it's this part of you, it's this you right now that started the whole thing. It's this you right now that went through what you went through, that's going through what you're going through right now. That's got you to they're talking about this potential that's going to get you to where you want to be. You couldn't have done it without you right now. Mm-hmm. The power of love is real. The power of love heals physical body, heals emotional trauma, heals mental trauma, heals the environment, because everything is energy and love is energy too. Um, and when I say love, I don't mean like what we are socially conditioned to understand as love. I guess everybody understands words differently. What I mean by love is the feeling of empowerment, the feeling of excitement, the feeling of anticipation and looking forward, the feeling of believing in yourself, the feeling of allowing yourself to imagine and have fun, laughter, inner peace. Those are all around the same frequency of love. And these are the type of thoughts, um, at least to choose the next best feeling thought that you can possibly have from where you're at right now. Because it's kind of like a ladder. If you're coming straight from a space of feeling fear and that's all you know, vibrationally, you can't just jump to bliss with your thought. It's more of like a ladder where you can choose the next best thought that creates the next best feeling. And now that you're here vibrationally, then you can move up and choose. Now you can allow the next best thought to be coming attracted to you, because your thoughts attract more thoughts. Because the things that you think and the way that you feel attracts the experiences that you have, the thoughts that you have, the feelings that you have. So I'm also going to put check out Esther Hicks. Um, um, Divine Art School, and yeah, just my brain's kind of conking out now. Uh, um, check those out, and definitely get some space, because it's difficult to get connected with yourself when you're constantly feeling triggered and in fight or flight. Okay, Heaven. So I want to thank everybody for being here, and thanks for your energy. Thanks for your questions. Thank you for connecting with me. Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, dude. The feeling of relief is really the thoughts that you want to have. Using deliberate thought is different than identifying with fear-based thoughts that have been programmed into you, that you've taken on as your own, but really have nothing to do with who you really are. But deliberate thought, you're generally thinking about things that you feel a sense of relief, and that feeling of relief, using your emotions as a guidance system, which is Esther Hicks is really good at explaining this, using your emotions as a guidance system to guide you to um, become in alignment with who you are, allowing your higher self to be in the driver's seat, no longer allowing thought to be in the driver's seat, will bring things into your experience that are so healing, that are so much more beneficial to you than where you are right now. All right, everybody, I'm going to head out of here. I love you so much, and I hope y'all have a good uh, part of the day of wherever you're at, and I will see you next time, and much love to you.